Welcome to this week's widescreen week in review for the 3rd and 4th weeks of June 2016. This week's widescreen week in review is sponsored by our very own WSGF Ultimate Monitor Stand. It's the only monitor stand on the market designed to grow with you in your gaming rig. It supports 3x1 landscape, 1+3 landscape with up to 27-inch panels, and it also supports 5x1 portrait with up to 25-inch panels. For more information, visit wsgf.org/stands. We're going to start off with Crowman Wolfboy. It's a story-driven, level-based action platformer runner hybrid thingy. It gets a gold for widescreen and has anamorphic support. It's limited for ultra-wide and Multi-Mon, which both require the game to be run in windowed mode with the borderless gaming utility. It has positive reviews on Steam and is only $3.99 via early access. I would suggest supporting this indie developer and trying to get a proper support for field divisions wider than 16:9. Here we have Yrminsul. It is a fantasy tower defense title. It gets silver support for widescreen, ultra-wide, and Multi-Mon. It has native horizontal plus support, but the HUD and overlays do stretch as you go past 16:10. It has mixed reviews on Steam with about 60% positive. It's normally $10, but it's currently $6 with the ongoing July 4th sale. Next up we have Paragon. It's an early access in development MOBA title from Epic Games. It has limited support for widescreen and ultra-wide, and Multi-Mon is not supported. It's vert- with no FOV slider. It's based on the Unreal 3 engine, and none of the usual edits are working. It's currently in early access from the Epic Games site, with pricing ranging from $20 to $100. We really can't recommend this title when there are other MOBA titles that are horizontal plus and support aspect ratios greater than 16:9. It's really a shame after all these years to still see Epic Games stuck in a vert- mindset. And here we have Sonic Adventure DX. It's the classic 3D platformer from Sega. It has limited support for widescreen, ultra-wide, and multi-monitor are untested as of yet. Widescreen requires the better Sonic ADX patch from Dan Hando, which is featured in the Steam communities. We have links available on our entry in the WSGF. We've only got 4x3 and 16:10 screens for comparison. The results look good and we would love to see some more testing done. The game is part of the $20 Dreamcast collection. Next up is JackRabbit 2. It is a classic early 2D platformer from Epic. It has limited support for widescreen, ultra-wide, and Multi-Mon is unsupported. It has low-res, widescreen, and ultra-wide are available through the JJ2 Plus download via jazz2online.com. Max res is 800 by 600 on the game, so you're looking at 800 by 342 for a 21:9 aspect ratio, but it is surprisingly playable. Going all the way up to multi-monitor, you're looking at 800 by 150 pixels, which is supported but is really unplayable. Surprisingly, and all in all, it's not too bad for a game that was released way back in 1998. Next up, we have Sin, the cult classic 3D FPS. It has limited support for widescreen, ultra-wide, and Multi-Mon. The game needs a custom patch for modern high resolutions and a horizontal FOV. Once installed, the game is horizontal plus, but the cutscenes are vert-, and the HUD on Infinity or NVIDIA Surround isn't centered. The game was originally released in 1998 and used a modified version of the Quake 2 engine. It's now sold as part of a bundle with Sin Episodes Emergence for $10, and overall the bundle has a very positive rating. In here we have Killing Floor 2. It's an early access FPS on Steam. It gets gold for widescreen and ultra-wide and silver for Multi-Mon. It has horizontal plus gameplay across all configurations. The only issue with Multi-Mon is a spanned HUD. Overall, it has mostly positive reviews, but recent reviews are mixed. Based on the review details I looked at, the shift in reception is based on responses to the developer's direction with the title. We don't have the insight or understanding of the game development here at the WSGF to address this shift specifically. Our insight here at the WSGF is purely of a technical nature. If it's a game you'd like to support, you can do so knowing that the game will work well on modern display configurations. And here we have America's Army Proving Grounds. It's an FPS designed and published by the US Army and is the most recent in the ongoing series. Has limited support for widescreen and ultra-wide, Multi-Mon is unsupported. The game is designed for 16:9 and all other aspect ratios are vert-. The HUD is stretched or squished in non-16:9 aspects and the FOV cannot be changed. Ultrawide brings some additional graphical glitches into the mix, and Multi-Mon is overall unplayable due to the limited field of vision. It's free to play on Steam, so you've got nothing to lose for trying, especially if you're on a single screen. So now we're going to take a look at some entries in our games database that were updated with new information. First up is Forced. It's a co-op indie action RPG, which is currently released as Forced Slightly Better Edition. Gets gold for widescreen, silver for ultrawide, and limited for Multi-Mon. It has perfect native support for widescreen. Ultrawide and Multi-Mon need a command line edit to work, along with an Alt tab to go in to full screen, as it will initially load in windowed mode. The HUD isn't centered on Multi-Mon, and the full motion videos are vert minus. The game has mostly positive ratings long term, but they are shifting towards mixed in the short term. In reading through a few of these, it seems to be due to the fact that the game is very difficult and designed for co-op, but there's currently a lack of online players. Local co-op is also supported. The game usually runs $15 for a single copy and $45 for a 4-pack. During the current July 4th sale, you can get a single copy for $3, and the 4-pack is down to $9. So you might want to consider buying a set for you and your friends and digging in. And here we have Sin Episodes Emergence. It's the episodic sequel to the cult classic 3D FPS. It gets a gold for widescreen and ultrawide and a silver for Multi-Mon. Horizontal plus support across all the configurations. The only issue is a spanned HUD in Multi-Mon. It's the first entry in what was supposed to be a 9-part episodic resurrection of the original Sin title. It's now sold bundled with the original title for $10 and has an overall very positive rating. And finally we have Burn Zombies Burn. It's a zombie-themed arcade action title where you fight off hordes of zombies by lighting them on fire. The protagonist's name is Bruce, which I have a hard time believing is not a reference to Bruce Campbell. It gets gold for widescreen and ultrawide and silver for Multi-Mon. Horizontal plus support across all configurations, with the only issue being a spanned HUD and multi-monitor. The game only has mixed reviews on Steam with a 43% positive rating. However, Metacritic scores it much higher at 72%. The game runs $10 on Steam, and at this price point and the rating, I'm not actually sure whether to recommend it or not, but with good display support, I'm certain there are worse things you can do with a spare $10.